Good afternoon, everybody. Today we'll discuss MBA second year. of- Uh, Second year MBA marketing group मधला retail marketing हा subject आपण study करणार आहोत. In this unit, first unit is introduction, relating and concepts of retail. In this chapter, main oh, point आपण डिस्कस करणार आहोत डिफाइनिंग रिलेटिंग रिटेलिंग त्याच्यानंतर फंक्शन्स ऑफ रिटेलर सोशल अँड इकॉनॉमिक्स इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ रिलेटिंग नेचर्स ऑफ रिलेटिंग अँड डिस्ट्रीब्युशन सप्लाय चेन होलसेलर्स रिटेलर्स ग्लोबल रिटेलर्स मार्केट हे सगळे त्या ठिकाणी मार्केटिंगच्या मधले शॉपिंग होलसेल मार्केटिंगचे टाईप्स आहेत त्या ठिकाणी तर फर्स्ट आपण युनिट जे आहे आपला इंट्रोडक्शन्स टू रिटेलिंग अँड कन्सेप्ट ऑफ रिटेल हे पाहणार आहोत. तर ह्या युनिटचे मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह त्या ठिकाणी आहेत की वी शुड बी एबल टू अंडरस्टँड द मिनिंग अँड कन्सेप्ट ऑफ रिटेलिंग अलॉंग विथ इट्स फंक्शन्स अँड ओव्हरव्ह्यू रिटेल मार्केटिंग. तर फर्स्ट आपण डेफिनेशन पाहणार आहोत रिटेलिंगची. तर वेगवेगळ्या तत्ववेत्यांनी त्या ठिकाणी रिटेलचे वेगवेगळे डेफिनेशन त्या ठिकाणी केले आहे. तर रिटेल वर्ड्स जो आहे तो हॅज ड्राइव्ड फ्रॉम द फ्रेंच वर्ड्स रिटेलर्स अँड मीन्स टू कट अ पीस or to break block. It covers all these activities involved in the sale of product and service. Retailing is a high intensity competition industry and second largest global. The reasons for its popularity lies in its ability to provide easier access to a variety of products, freedom of choice, and many service to consumers. The size of an average retail store varies across countries depending largely on the level of a particular country's economic development. The large retail store in the world's in all mart of USA retail in the world's largest provider private sector contributing to 8 of the 8% of the GDP and its employs one sixth of the labor force. The estimated retail trade is accepted to be 7 trillion USA dollars. Many countries have developed only due to relating and purposely. We see there is a fast change in the retail industry as far as India concerned in contributes to 14% of our GDP and it is the largest sector next to agriculture which provides employment to more number of persons. Next point upon our definitions of retailing. Retailing means is the business activity of selling goods and service to the final consumer. Second definition is a retailing can be defined as the business product and service to consumer for their own use. According to Colter, letting includes all the activities involved in selling goods or service to the final consumer for personal non-business use. Retailing is activity of selling goods and service to last level consumers for their use. It is a concern with getting goods in their finished state into the hands of consumers who are prepared to pay for the pleasures of aiding, wearing, or expressing particular product items. Rating is all about the distributions of goods and service because retailers play a key role in the route that product take after organization from a manufacturer, growing or service provider to reach then person who consumer relating It is also one of the key elements of marketing strategy, facilitating the targeting process. Making sure that a product which is particular groups of consumer, it is important in marketing strategy to match the arena in which a product is purchased to the benefits of characteristics of the product and its price. Companies who provide meals out, haircuts, and aromatherapy seasons are all essentially retailers as they are sale to the final consumer. And yet, consumers do not take goods away from these retailers in a carrier bag. The consumptions of the service product coincides with the retailer's activity itself. Retailing may include subordinated service such as a delivery, purchase, may be individuals or business in commerce, or retailer buys goods or products in a large quantities from manufacturers or importers, either directly or though a wholesaler and then sells smaller quantities to the end user. Retail establishments are often called shop or stores. Retailers are the end of the supply chain. Manufacturing marketers see the process of retailing as a necessary part of their overall distribution strategy. The term retail is also applied where a service provides service the needs of a large number of individuals, such as a public utility like electronic power. त्याच्यामध्ये केस लाईट जे आहेत तो पाठ आपण पाहणार आहोत तर इंडस्ट्री स्टेटस फॉर रिटेल सेक्टर barely recovering from the slum in economy organizers retailers in the country demand that the sector should be given industry status. Beside easing foreign investment norms in the forthcoming budget, industry status has been a long-standing demand of the retail sector. Beside, we also want a relaxation in the foreign direct investment norms. Retail Associations of India Chief Executive Officer Kumar Rajgopalan said, sharing similar views, Cotton's Retail India Chairman DPS Kohli said industry status has been a reckoning demand of the retail sector for many years since only then will the retailers to be able to fully enjoy the benefits of organizing, financing, insurance, and physical incentives. Next, according to industry figures, only around 5% of the established over USD 450 billions in the retail sector is currently organized, calling for easing of FDI norms. Rajgopalan said no industry in India has grown without FDI participations and for retail to emerge as a big player. More FDI should be allowed. Besides, he said even if FDI norms are norms relaxation in a budget, the government must give a classifications on FIN and foreign P funding route as there is a lot of availability. The next point is the functions of retail. Retailers are circulations players in the emerging market sensor large brands are running first to get into the desired retail formats to cater to the growing middle class of India. Retail performs various functions like providing instruments, sorting, breaking the block, retailing service, bringing risk service as a channel of communications, transportations, advertising, and holding inventory. The significantly contribute towards increasing the product value and satisfy the consumer. Following are the functions of retailer related. First point is functions providing assessments. Offering an assessment enables customers to choose from a wide selections of brands, design, size, colors, and price in one locations. Manufacturers specialize in producing specific types of products. Shorting manufacturers makes one single line or multiple products lines and will always prefer to sell their entire output of few buyers to reduce their cost. Final consumer will be paid to choose from a large variety of goods and service and then usually buy in a smaller quantities. Retailers have to strike a balance between demands of both the sides by collecting combinations of goods from different producers, buying them in a large quantities and selling them to individual customer in a small quantities. The above process is called shorting, and under this process, the retail undertakes activities and performs functions that add value to the products and service while selling them to consumers. Next, breaking bulk. It is offer the products in similar quantities, tailoring in individual customers and household consumption patterns. This reduces transportation costs, warehouse costs, and inventory costs. This is a cost breaking bulk retailing service. Retailing tender service that make it easier for a customer to buy and use product. They provide credit facility to the customers. They display products which attract the customers. Retailers keeps ready information on hand to answer queries of the customer. The provide services on by which the ownership can be transferred from manufacturing to the end consumer with convenience. The next point is risk bearing. Risk bearing means retailers bear a different type of risks of the manufacturers and wholesalers. Even the customer can come back to the retail point and return the product. In that case, the risks of product ownership many times reset with the retailers. Many companies have back schemes and return schemes whereby the retailers can always return the unsold items to the manufacturer. Holding inventory major functions of it is to keep inventory so that product will be available for customers. Thus, consumer can be keep a much smaller inventory of product at home. Some they can easily access more from the nearby retailers. Retailing inventory allows customers ensure availability of the product and services. Next is a channel of communications. Retailers are the brides between the manufacturers or his respect representative and end customer. And then last one is transportations. Retailers also helps in transportation and advertising functions. The larger instruments are transported from wholesalers point to retailers point by retail on arrangement. In many times, the retailer delivers the goods at final consumers point. So retailers provide assistance in storage, transportations, and pre-payment merchandise. Social and economic importance of relating social responsibility, retail sales, employment, global retailers, etc. The first is the social responsibility. Social responsibility means it is a social responsible business. Corporate social responsibility describe the voluntary actions taken by a company to address the ethical, social, and environmental impact of its the business operations. And the concert of its stakeholder retailers. Uh, Next point is retail sales. Relating affects every fact of life. Just think of how many daily contracts you have with retailers when you eat meals, finish your apartment, have your uh, car fixed, and buy clothing for a part or job interview. American retail sales are over $3.6 trillion for 2012. But even this sales level understand under times the impact of retailing because it does not include the retail sales of automobiles and repairs. Next point is employment. Employment also is one of the nation's largest industry in terms of employment. More than 25 million people were employees in relating approximately 80% of non-agriculture USA workforce between 2004 and 2014. The retail industry expect to add 1.6 million jobs, making it one of the large sector for a job growth in the United States. Global retail relating is becoming a global industry as more or more retail growth by expanding their operations to other countries. याच्यामध्ये ग्लोबल रिटेलर्स मध्ये ऑलमार्ट्स कॅरियर रॉयल अवॉर्ड मेट्रो अँड स्विग्स each generate more than nature relating of relating and distribution supply chain. The nature of relating and distribution supply chains in a various area around the world differs. Some critical difference among the retailing and supply chain system in the United States, European Union, China, and India are summarizations figure 4.1. For example, the USA supply chain system has the greatest retail density and the greatest concentrations of large retail firms. Many USA retail firms are large enough to operate their own warehouse, eliminating the need for a wholesaler and the fastest growing types of USA retail sales, though large stores with more than 2,000 square feet. The combinations of large stores and large firms results in very efficient supply chain. In this figure, the European supply chain system falls between the American and the Chinese and India system on this continuance of efficient sale. But the northern, southern, and central parts of Europe should be nations in northern European relating in a similar to that in the United States with high concentrations level in some national markets. 80% or more of sales in a sector such as a food or home improvements are according for by five or few firms. Some factors that have created these difference in supply chain system in the major market includes social and political objective, geography, and market size, wholesalers versus retailers. Major difference between wholesalers, the retailers are presented in the following table. Wholesale means selling in a large quantities, while retail means selling in a small quantities. Therefore, wholesalers sell in bulk and retailers sells in individual or smaller quantities. Most often, wholesalers do not sell directly to individual customer, but rather sell goods directly to retailers who are then able to sell to individual customers. तर याच्यामध्ये आपण होलसेलर आणि रिटेलर्स डिफरन्स त्या ठिकाणी पाहणार आहोत. तर होलसेलर्स फर्स्ट आहे दे आर containing links between the manufacturers and the retailers. Retailers they are connecting links between the wholesalers and customers. Second difference आहे त्या ठिकाणी they purchase goods in large quantities for the manufacturers आणि रिटेलर जो असतो तो स्मॉल क्वांटिटीज गुडची असते त्या ठिकाणी. थर्ड जे आहे दे डील इन लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स. द डील इज अ व्हरायटी ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स फॉर मीटिंग द व्हेरी नीड्स ऑफ कन्झ्युमर्स. नेक्स्ट they need more capital to start their business. Retailers मध्ये capital is limited and wholesalers मध्ये they display of goods and decorations of premise is not necessary for them. Retailers they lay more emphasis on window display and proper decoration of business premise in order to attract the customers. Next, their business operations extend to different cities and places. They usually localize at a particular place, area, or cities. They do not directly deal with the customers. They have a direct link with the customers. They do not extend free home delivery and after sales service. They provided free home delivery and after sales service to the customers. They provide more credit facility to retail. Second, retail the provide lesser credit facilities to the consumers and usually sell goods on cash basis. They may not possess expert knowledge regarding selling techniques. They must possess. Next, they are not usually classified in different types. And, they can be divided into their service can be dispensed with or can be elements from the chain distribution. They are integral compounds of the distributions chain and cannot be elements. Next point is the global retail market. Rating in increasing a global business, a more structured retail industry with more multiple retailers. Those with more than one outlet is a sign that an economy is developing as organizations, specializations, and gain economies of scale. Additional when disposable incomes rise, retails play an activity part in distribution increasing discretionary goods to centers of populations. Emerging market are relay opportunity for experience details, especially if they are faced with high levels of retail positions and therefore competitions in their traditional market. As the artificial barriers to trade, such as the important duty and quota restrictions, are removed from the global economy, many retailers will view the world as their marketplace and make sourcing at outlet operation decisions on a set of criteria that are relevant across the global. In this unit, main summary is written in a simple term can be defined as relating in the business activity of selling goods and service to the final consumer. Relating can be defined as the business product and service to consumer for their own use. It has its origins in the French word retails, meaning to cut a piece off. The terms relatively applies not only to the selling of tangible products like loaves of bread or pairs of shoes, but also to the selling of service products, relating one of the largest sectors in the global economy has become the most activity and attractive sectors of the last decade. It is performs various functions like providing instruments, sorting, breaking the bulk retailing service, bearing big service as a channel of communications, transportation, advertising, and holding inventory. They significantly contribute towards increasing the product value and satisfy the consumer. This unit also address the questions of how the marketing mix framework can be used to analyze the competitive standing of retail business organizations and how the outcome of this analysis can then be translated into practically translates which capitalize on the organization's strength to build a competitive advantage that can be substantial. Retailers need to pay special attention to accept like price, locations, merchandise, service, and communications. There are a number of retail marketing jobs out there. Fairness, one is not a sales executive, but who creates sales supervisor, sales strategy in the retail market. Key terms, breaking bulk, offering the products in smaller quantities, sellers to individual consumers to and household consummations patterns and thereby reducing transportations and inventory cost. Second, department storage. It is a retail established which specialize in the satisfy wide range of the customer personal essential available goods product goods. Gatekeeper, members of decision-making unit or social group who acts to prevent or discourage purchase by controlling the flow of information and or access to people in the buying center. A small open founded or criticized from a newspaper issued ticket. In this unit, when question is first describe the act of relating. Why do you think relating is important? Relating provide to collections of service benefits to their customers. One, discuss the functions of relating with the help of suitable example. Discuss about the social and economic significance of relating. Explain about the structures of relating and distributions. Describe about the opportunity in relating. Explain how shorting by the retail helps you as a customer and describe the dimensions of retail equations. Next topic is the types of retailers. Types of retailers. In this group, we'll discuss retail characteristics, functions, and service. Food retailers. Food retailers in India. Retail model in India, current and emerging. Integrations of food industry. त्याच्यानंतर evolutions of organizations, retailing, types of ownership, retail channel, benefits of multi-channel retail, summary, unit objective, After reading this unit, who should be able to describe retail characteristics and various types of retailing and ownership in retail? याच्यामध्ये पण introduction. The word retail has been derived from the French word retail, which means to sell in small quantities rather than in a gross. A retail is a person who purchases a variety of goods in smaller quantities from different wholesalers and sell them to the Italian's consumer. He is the last link nodes in the chain of distributions from the producer to the customer. Retail characteristics, functions, and service. The following are some of the essential characteristics of a retail. He is regarded as the last link in the chain of distributions. He purchases goods in a large quantities from the wholesaler and sell in a small quantities to the customer. Next, he deals in general products or a variety of merchandise. He develops personal contract with the consumer. He aims at providing maximum satisfactions to the consumer, and he has a limited spare in the market. Next is rated functions child. First function is the retailers buys a variety of products from the wholesaler or a number of wholesalers. He thus performs two functions like buying of goods and assembly of goods. The retail performs storing functions by storing the goods for a consumer. त्याच्यानंतर the retailers perform storing functions by stocking the goods for a consumer. He develops personal contract with the consumer and gives them goods on credit. He bears the risks in connections with physical spoiling of goods and fall in price. Besides, he bears risks on account of fire, deteriorations in the quality and spoilage of goods. He restores to industrializations and guarding of goods in such a way that these are accepted by the customers. He makes arrangement for delivery of goods and supply valuable market informations to both wholesaler and the consumer. Service of retail. A retail provides a number of service to the customer and to the wholesaler. The service provided retails to customers as follow. First is he provides ready stock of goods and as such he says and quantity of goods desired by the customer. He keeps a large variety of goods produced by different producer and thereby ensures a wide variety of choice to the customers. He relieves the consumer of maintaining large quantity of goods for the future period because he himself holds large stock of goods. He develops personal relationship with the customers by them giving them credit. The service provided by TES to wholesaler are as follows. He gives valuable market information with regards to taste, fashions, and demand for the goods to the wholesaler. Second, the retail maintains direct contract with the customers, and so he reverses the wholesaler with regard to maintenance of direct contract. He helps the wholesalers in getting their goods distributed to the customer. He helps he is regarded as an important link between the wholesaler and the consumer. He creates demand for the products by displaying the goods to the customers. He retails business endeavors to create a comparing concept against competitors for the characteristics of the regions to be effective. The X concept must create an emotional bond with customers for a customer to see the value of the characteristics of the business approach and business give him not what the business would. First is clear fusions value function concept. तर आपण फर्स्ट जे आहे त्याच्यामध्ये क्लिअर व्हर्जन द कनेक्ट टू अ फोर कस्टमर ग्रुप्स वन ऑफ द कॅरेस्टिक्स retail company must have a clear versions what the company is offering, who their target market in, and the value of the produce or service to the customer must be clear. Next value, retail business that sells product or service that appeal to customers needs has the ability to stand up against competitions, physical facilities, pricing, product and customer service technique. A business busy retail store from an annotated one if the characteristics appeal to a customer in her mind. The business represents value when a retail makes the value of its business obvious influence service levels from function. Price and store explains are function characteristics that make up strong retail brands. These function characteristics are common to almost all retail stores. A brand may use its stores experience to create an emotional bond by matching its brand characteristics with customers' value. And last one is a concept. A retail business aims to consider an idea and deliver consulting probability and intensity from concept to executions. In international furniture company, for example, development unity presentations and customer SMS system are difficult to copy. The unique concept created a barrier to computers in order to be able to execute on its ideas. A company must have adequate resource and capital. Okay, thank you. We will stop teaching today. Next lecture, continue to food retailers. Okay, thank you very much.